So I just finished watching this movie, and I have the sudden urge to play Uncharted 4 again. Does anyone else have that problem? The Adventures of Tintin, released in 2011 and is directed by Steven Spielberg, who, do I need to spell out his rap sheet of the big things that he's done? He's behind basically every awesome thing that we ever grew up with. He's one of the best directors ever. Indiana Jones. There you go. And this movie is starring the Jamie Bell, Andy Serkis, Daniel Craig, Nick Frost, and Simon Pegg. The Adventures of Tintin is based on a comic book series written by Hergé of the same name. In the film, we meet Tintin, who is already an established reporter slash adventurer archaeologist who purchases a beautiful-looking ship at the marketplace. However, several passerbyers attempt to purchase the ship from him after he buys it, leading Tintin to think that there is more to this ship than meets the eye. Trust me, Michael Bay and the Transformers is nowhere to be seen here. So while Tintin does some lengthy research on the ship at the local library, returns home to discover his place ransacked and the ship stolen. But a hidden treasure of the ship remains in his apartment, on further research discovering that it is a series of clues leading Tintin to a treasure map of a buried treasure. So along the way, he befriends the old ship captain, and then gets in trouble with a couple of the buyers, people that are dressed in red and have very devilish and evilish facial hair, and it's your standard treasure hunt adventure film, which I guess I wasn't expecting. This is my first time viewing this film, and I remember seeing trailers and previews for it, and the visual effects, the CGI looked beautiful to me there. I just failed to realize that this is Indiana Jones meets Uncharted, two of my favorite franchises, and I love action-adventure movies that take us to different places all over the globe, and hidden passageways, and fun little chase scenes, and puzzles that you have to figure out. This is my cup of tea. And the first question I need to ask is, why isn't there a sequel to this damn thing? Apparently there is one in developmental hell now that I'm reading it. I know in my last review I said I thought Peter Jackson directed this thing, but he's actually signed on to direct the sequel, if we ever get a sequel. Now that it's been 10 years, I highly doubt it. Which is an absolute shame, because this universe, this animation style, this performance capture style is incredible. The amount of detail in all of the hairs, the spots on the skin when we get close-ups of these characters on the screen is stunning. It looked like you were watching a high-def 4K video game, which I wouldn't be surprised if they took a lot of the things from this movie, or maybe the overall Adventures of Tintin and the comics, and put them into video games like Uncharted and things like that. God, I keep saying Uncharted. I haven't played those in a couple of years. I want to play them again. They were so much fun. Because that's what this movie is. It's a lot of fun. It's movies like this, Indiana Jones, that inspires young children to become archaeologists and go travel the world and study history and look for ancient artifacts to put them in a museum. So if you are into adventure films, archaeologist films, if you're a fan of Indiana Jones and you haven't seen this movie, you need to. This is right up your alley. This is your cup of tea, because it's mine. And the voice cast that we have here, I think, do a top-notch job. Jamie Bell, who appears every so often for me, at least in my movie collection. I think the last thing that I watched him in was Nymphomaniac, which is like the other end of the spectrum, but his voice lent to a very lovable and admirable character in Tintin. I always thought Tintin was like 12 or 13, but in this movie, apparently he's an established archaeologist. You see all the framed pictures on the wall of all the newspaper clippings of everything that he discovered, and apparently he's living on his own, so I guess Tintin is like in his 20s or 30s. He looks very young, though. But it makes him lovable, makes him enjoyable, and it makes me care about this CGI person on screen. And Andy Serkis, who is the king of performance capture, is here playing the part of Captain Haddock, who is the ancestor of the old ship king captain who had the treasure and put the clues out there. There's something in the storytelling of this movie where Haddock, Andy Serkis's version of Haddock, has a mental connection to the old ancient ship captain, his ancestor. Probably he's remembering from stories passed down, but the way it's told and the way it's presented on screen, it made it look like he has some telepathic powers to where he was someone in a past life and he was remembering. I think you have to watch it to make sense of what I just said right there. Daniel Craig, who voices Sakharine, who is our main villain, who is also going after the treasure, but he's doing it in all of the bad ways, you know, like you do in any adventure film and treasure hunting film. There's always two people. There's the one person that does it out of respect for the history, and the one person who's doing it for the money and will do anything to get the treasure, including kill, stab, or shooting people. And then Nick Frost and Simon Pegg, who are here as the bumbling police officers Thompson and Thompson, which I think is just great. Their comedic sensibilities are always on point, and whenever their voices are on screen here, it is a delight to listen to. But the thing to take away most from this film is the CGI, and it's the performance capture. The way that Steven Spielberg shoots the motion capture performances, he's moving the camera. Typically, when it's CGI, you have the camera stationary, then you have a bunch of green screen, and then people moving in and out. Steven Spielberg is moving the camera with the actors who have all the leotards on, with all the motion capture, performance capture dots all over their face and over their bodies. So it gives us more of a feeling of kinetic energy when we get to the big chase scenes in this movie, which there are a ton of. So many that it's almost to the point of it's like, it's a little overkill. We could have maybe done with one less of these. Maybe one of them could have been a little bit shorter, but gosh, there's a lot of chase and action scenes in here, and maybe with some editing, maybe we didn't need all of those. At certain points in these chase scenes, it gets a little cartoony, which is actually a little jarring, and it's strange that I'm saying that in an animated film, in a CGI film, because the CGI is so realistic, and the way that we see the wrinkles in people's hands and just how everything is painted on screen looks so photorealistic that when we get to the cartoon elements, like when Haddock gets pulled into the propeller of the plane and does like a little Looney Tune thing, spins around and then is shot back out, it's weird, it's jarring, and it doesn't feel like it fits the style of the movie, even though technically the movie is a cartoon. It's hard to explain. I think you just have to watch it. I am definitely going to recommend this movie, though. This movie was a lot of fun. The story is great. There's a lot of comedic dialogue in here, and it keeps up the thrilling sense of adventure. And we need to do this in order to get this so that we can find this. I love films like that, and this film does a great job. It was successful at the box office. It's just so disappointed that a sequel was never made, and we probably never will get one, because it's been 10 years, and this is a shame. This is a franchise that should have had a couple under its belts, and I don't think we'll ever see another one again. So in the meantime, you should watch this movie just to support it. I'm going to give The Adventures of Tintin 4 out of 5 Blu-rays.
I like it a lot.
Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part of my videos where I randomly select which movie I'm going to be watching next, and we're still in the month of July, so we're going to make this still the recommendation month, so I'm going to be selecting from the list of all the recommendations that I've received from my subscribers and fans over the years, so let's take a look. Emoji Movie. This is one I don't own, and from the reviews that I've read, I probably don't wish to own it. From Nate the Reactor, and I think this was a joke submission from Nate asking me to review this, because I've heard nothing but terrible things about this movie. I've not watched it. Hopefully it's on a streaming service where I don't have to purchase it. Please, dear God. But I do need contenders for my top 10 worst movies I reviewed in the year 2021 for the end of the year when I do that, so I have a feeling this is gonna make it, or who knows, maybe I've just heard so many terrible things about this movie that my expectation bar is so low that when I watch it, I'll go, hey, it's okay. It wasn't as bad as people say it is. Let's hope. If any of you have recommendations of films that you want me to review on here, you can make a PayPal donation on the main page of my YouTube channel. Any size donation will do. Just attach your movie recommendation with your donation, and if I have access to it, I will watch it, review it, give you a shout out on the channel, and get my review of it published as quickly as I possibly can. So guys, have you seen The Adventures of Tintin? What did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before, and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell so you know the next time I release my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time with my review of Emoji Movie. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.